within sales, I didn't know this, but Matt was talking to me and he said, Mike, there's 4 things within the sales process that I believe people have to be dangerously good at. And so he really broke it down, and I wanted to make this a talk. So when it comes to selling in this space, this is probably the most important topic for us to cover today. The sales skills that most of us in this industry don't have, but the top 5% do. And if you want to be dangerously good in your business, you're going to want to be dangerously good at these things. And I mean Terminator dangerously good. And to clarify, I don't mean the nice Terminator where he does his best to smile for the first time. I mean on a Harley, one-handed reloading shotgun, shooting locks off fences, crossing over traffic without a scratch dangerous. All right, so being a top 5%er means you're maximizing the revenue and profit that can be made in your studio, and more importantly, without the owners having to operate in the business so they can work on expanding into other locations or current operations, creating opportunities for their employees and members. Now, there really are just 4 areas in the sales process that we need you to be dangerously good at, and I strongly suggest you write these down and prepare, as we're not only going to be covering these right now at a high level, but then throughout the day, we're actually going to dive deeper into each one of them. Also, we're not going to just tell you what they are. That's too easy. We're not going to just share the why either. Still, just a little too easy. We're also going to share the what, the why, and we're going to be sharing the who, meaning proof of several people in this room that have mastered some or all of these. And then this way you can now not only know that it's happening, but you can connect with them and talk to them about how they're doing it. Does that sound good to you guys? Well, good sucks. We're going to go for great. So we're also going to be sharing the how. Okay, so in fact, all 4 steps have their own dedicated training session today. So you can be sure that you have everything that you need to know exactly what to do, why to do it, how to do it, who's already done it, and then this way you guys can all connect and just get the most out of this conference in the community in the room here with you. Sound great? Excellent. Okay, now the giant next to me is a man named Matt Kafora, or Mr. Kafora, aka Novocaine, aka the Viking. My favorite, 7-figure chicken dinner, going bigger, Mr. Winner. Yeah, I made that one up. But I really want it to stick, though, so I hope it catches. And for reference, in case anyone wants to help me make that a real thing, it's 7-figure, write this down, 7-figure chicken dinner, going bigger, Mr. Winner. Everyone say it, ready? 7-figure chicken dinner, going bigger, Mr. Winner. You're no longer Matthew, like Kobe called you earlier. So feel free to use that in public or with Matt. Seriously, though, this man truly has grown on me, has added a tremendous amount of value, not only to my life and to the life of the employees at Loud Rumor and our company, but to many of you guys in this room. And so he's just a good man, achieved a lot in his life and business-wise. He's got 7 fitness studios doing $120,000 to $130,000 per month, incredible profit, running without him having to visit them, and that's with the top franchise in the space, Orange Theory Fitness. And his stores, I mean, he's had the #1 and the #4 store, so you're talking like the best of the best, right? And so that's who's here with us today. Yes, good? Round of applause for Matt. And that's just 7 of the 22 businesses he owns, of which I'm partners with him on 2 of those. He knows what he's doing. He's going to take you through these steps the way that he believes are done best. So now, does that sound great to you guys? Yes? All right, Mr. Kafora, the floor is yours. Let's talk about area number 1.
Yeah, so area number 1 is our lead generation, right? Sales in our space is actually pretty simple. Simple, not easy, simple. And it all starts with the lead generation. So what is lead generation? Well, we get leads. We get names, phone numbers, emails, and we get them from all sources by having this omnipresent type effect, right? So we'll dive in to what that looks like a little bit later on. But this is truly our lifeblood. Without leads coming in, we can have the best business in the entire world, have the best coaches that can deliver the best workout. But if nobody knows about us, we are dead in the water. So this is truly our lifeblood. Now, what else this does is we get to a certain level, and oftentimes we can plateau. We need more eyes. We need more guests. We need more bodies. This helps us to avoid the plateaus. Anyone ever have a slow month? Nobody? Okay, now I see more hands. I'm like, July for me was not that amazing. Yes, a little bit slower, right? What's cool is when I have 500, 600 leads to bang through and start calling, now my bad sales month can turn into a good sales month. But without the leads, that's never happening, okay? The only way that that happens is by building that, filling that pipeline. If we are not so hyper-focused on lead generation, we again will die. Our business will fall to pieces every single time, okay? So this actually allows us to really increase our warm and organic leads as well. Every time someone hops on a power call and says, I sold 15 memberships this week, what is my follow-up question? How many referrals? Good job. Yeah, right? So
You
this
got
is
them
our
trained,
way.
Matt. You got them trained well.
I love it, brainwashed. So this is our way to increase our organic and warm leads, right? This allows us to run through the lead nurture process because remember, we only have one chance for a first impression. So our lead nurture process is where we establish that first impression, get them to take action and get them in, okay? Which subsequently improves member retention, right? Increases our lifetime value, increases the likelihood for referrals, right? Can we all agree that lead gen is very, very important to our business? Yes, okay. So there's a couple in this room who have done very, very well in this.
Yeah, there's actually a couple. So Nick Page, where you at? Say, hey! No. I said say, hey! There he is. Can we get him a mic, please? Can we get him a mic? Give him another. Go ahead and do it again. Hey! Give him Nick. There it is. He knows. All right, Nick. So Nick is actually going to be talking tomorrow or today, Nick?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, because he's driving a lot of really good leads organically from his business too. So Nick, really quick, what was your lead generation like, let's say a year ago versus today, and what are some of the things you focused on to get it there?
A year ago, I only had Facebook and Instagram ads running, and that was literally it. For some reason, my ego thought I was too big to do local advertising or anything like that. I just solely thought online marketing was it. Or not, like never asking for referrals either. I thought I was too much of a hot shot.
Yeah. Have you grown since you stopped thinking that?
Absolutely.
Yeah? How much have you grown since you started focusing on lead gen?
Well, I know from when we spoke, from the beginning of this year to now, we've grown 114%.
Round of applause for Nick. All right, good. So there's another person here that's doing really well. The dynamic duo, Mr. and Mrs. Hodges. Say, hey! There we go. Let's get it over there. And also, Teresa, you there? Was it your birthday yesterday? Mm-hmm. Everyone, at the count of three, we're going to say, happy birthday, Teresa. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Teresa.
All right, so really quick, talk to me about lead generation when you first, let's say right before you first started focusing on it to now.
So when we first started our gym before Loud Rumor, we were just kind of posting on social media, and that's our only source of lead generation. Like we would just post our boot camp class, tag the members, they would share it, and then people were like, "Ooh, I want to come try the class." That's how we did it initially. Once we joined Loud Rumor, we started with the advertising side. So we were running ad campaigns on Instagram, Facebook, and then on top of that, we were doing our referral campaigns that we were running, and that's how generation kind of propelled. And we started bringing 100, 150 leads per month. So that was great. And then also those random referral campaign, what do we call it? Referral and receive campaigns. Mm-hmm. With those would help some months because we get 100, 150 plus leads.
On top of that?
On top of that, yeah. So
pretty good?
Yep.
Yes? Awesome. So I want to make sure we get to, I think it was 2. Yeah, so now you guys know you got Nick Page and you got Mr. and Mrs. Hodges here. So you guys know a couple people you could talk to in the hallway if you want to figure out, like, hey, you said 300 leads a month. You said 100, 114% growth. Talk to me a little bit about it. I just kind of made an introduction for y'all. Good? Yes? Okay. Moving on. Can we get back to the slides, please? There we go. Area number 2, Matt. What's area number 2?
Okay. Area number 2, is our intake and handoff. Guys, I cannot stress the importance of this in our business. If we do not master this piece specifically, you will not grow to the level that you want. You will not have the success that you want. You will not make the money you want. You will not impact the lives of both your members and your employees. I promise you. So what is this? This starts at our greeting process, okay? The second someone walks through that threshold, okay? What are we doing? How does that look? And we're gonna dive into that here a little bit later. Next piece being our intake process. That conversation with our members. What does that look like? How does that feel on the receiving end? And what are we actually looking to get from that? And then it finishes off with the handoff piece, right? Transferring that trust from that front desk person to our coach. Okay, so why is this so important for us? First and foremost, we are overcoming objections prior to them actually surfacing. Okay, this is huge. We have to do this. More important than that, we uncover the why. Okay, that emotional hot button, that emotional reason why they took action, why they got up off the couch. Mike shared some pretty crazy stats that we are like the crazy weirdos who can't go 2 days without working out. Okay, that's not the rest of the nation. Okay, so we need to uncover their why, what got them off the couch. And then lastly, with a hand off, is we are transferring the trust. So now that I've garnered all this information, I need to be able to hand them over to somebody else and share that information and have that prospective member feel comfortable in the transferring of their goals, their hot buttons, their potential objections, transferring that over and then getting their butt kicked in something that is probably very uncomfortable to them. Because again, the vast majority of the population is not working out like we work out.
Yeah, so for the Who, we've got Mrs. Laughlin's Bar 3 in Chandler, Arizona. Are you guys here? Say, hey! Hey, can we get a mic over here? Let's actually, you know what, if it's okay, because I think I talked to you, Gabby. So, because you and I kind of had a little conversation about this last week, which is kind of how I had this in my head here. So, talk to me about this particular process and just overall, like before, after, and the difference that it's made.
So before Loud Rumor, we had a pretty basic client intake. It was just like name, email, phone number, and then our waiver, and that was pretty much it. And then afterwards, we have completely changed our whole worksheet, and also now, like while they're filling it out, not that I didn't make conversation before, but I feel like I ask more important questions, really getting to their why. So what they do for their current workouts, kind of seeing like what they're comfortable with doing, what their goals are, and just make them a little more comfortable. And then once, you know, I hear their why, I'm able to repeat that back to the instructor and then repeat it again after class. So like, I feel like it also really, like that we're listening to them as well.
And what did that do for like closing rate?
Significantly increased
What's
it.
significant? Talk to me.
So for April, Andre and I go over KPIs. Back in April, we just started Loud Rumor. At the beginning of the month, my quota for members was 10. I got 1. And then after Loud Rumor, so in May, we had our first full month. My goal was 20. I think I got 25 members that month.
So 1 to 25.
Yeah, very big difference.
And what about closing percentage? Have you noticed that, like of the people you met with, the closing percentage of the people?
It definitely has increased. I don't have exact numbers, but it's definitely increased. I think just like show rate in general has increased. But with that being said, like we are definitely seeing way higher percentages in closing, like every month. It's continuously growing.
Closing better packages too?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is that enough? she's
The
doing
look behind says like a big yes to that.
So round of applause for Bar 3 over in Chandler. So now you guys know you want to work on this intake process. If that's a process you feel is a little broken, you now know Bar 3 Chandler. These girls got it dialed in. You can talk with them and see what kind of growth pains they went through, and you guys can anticipate what's going to happen for you guys. Sounds good? Yes? Okay. Ready for area number 3?
So area number 3 is where we get to the fun stuff, right? We are actually presenting the price after that hand back piece. So hand back being, I now have Mr. Mike, who is the coach for me and is handing back to the front desk or studio manager that prospective member. Again, remember I transferred trust after the intake. I handed off to Mike. Mike is now handing back to me. Now in this process, it affords Mike the opportunity to be prescriptive in this. So that is the prescription sale. You were talking to a fitness professional at that point. Okay, here's the deal. Our members or prospective members don't always recognize us at the front desk as like the fitness professionals. Can we all agree on that? Mm-hmm. Who do they recognize as fitness professionals? The coach, right? So this is where every single person on our teams are involved in the sales process. Like sales, love sales, hate sales, you are in the process regardless, okay? So that's prescription sale in our hand back is where this opportunity comes in, okay? Now, this is also where we kind of present the options. The prescription sale says, hey, here's what's gonna take you all the way up to your goal, and here are the two options within that space. So really important that we dial this in. It's super, super simple, not super, super easy. Okay, so why do we do this? Well, like I said, it's our guided recommendation from a fitness professional. Okay, Mike, your fitness professional, has now said to get all the way to your goal of X and touch that hot button that we found out in that client intake. This is what I recommend that you do. He hands it back to me and says, Matt, can you get Mrs. Jones set up on a program that's going to take her all the way out to her goals? I recommend 4 days a week. Cool, right? Mrs. Jones, I now have the opportunity to ask her, okay, which of these two options works best for you, right? At the end of the day, we have to ask. We have to ask for the sale. If we're not asking for the sale, we will never, ever get it. Very rarely does anyone say like, hi, can I get a membership? Like, I'd like to just, here's my visa, right? They don't do that. Okay, we have to ask, right? And what we know is a closed mouth never gets fed. I don't know about you, but I like to eat, right? Let's get fed.
Now, one of the things I wanted to touch on this too, what's also happening is planting seeds. Anybody see the video I put up recently about planting seeds? Just put it up like a week ago. Raise your hands if you have. A couple of you guys? Okay, so let me show you how this works in your everyday life. So if, let's say Matt and I are hanging out and there's a guy that's walking towards us. And if I were to say to Matt, this guy is awesome. Literally everything this guy says is hilarious. He's super funny, and he's just an overall good guy. How is Matt approaching this person as soon as he walks up? Yeah, he's already like kind of smiling, right? And this guy could probably say almost anything, and Matt's gonna somehow even fake laugh it, right? At most, at least he's gonna do that. Now, what if I were to switch it, and I were to say, dude, watch out, this guy's the worst. Don't even look at him. Don't even look at him. Shit, he saw us. All right, he's coming over. He's annoying. Just keep it short, okay? Just keep it short. What's Matt's perception now? Yeah. So what happened was I planted two different types of seeds on the exact same person, which changed his overall experience for the same person. Two totally different experiences. In the video I shared, if I love Will Ferrell, if I think Will Ferrell's hilarious, and Matt is in the movie, and he's watching a Will Ferrell movie with me, just me laughing is making the movie better. And if I were to say, dude, I love Will Ferrell, it's better. But if I were to walk in and we sit down, I go, oh, Will Ferrell's in this movie? Yeah. Dude, this guy, I find him so annoying. I can't even stand him. He's not finding him as funny anymore. Do you guys, even if he is still funny, he's living vicariously through me right now, and so it's what's happening. So planting seeds is an important part in the sales process because you can change the overall experience for that member. If I were to say as a front desk person, yeah, Matt, like if Matt's the coach, Matt is awesome. He's fantastic. If I were to talk about the workout, the way the workout's going, some of these things you're gonna feel in body parts that you haven't felt before, you're gonna feel it differently. When they're doing that same workout, they're thinking it. Here's why. Because your reality is what you put your attention to. Your reality is your intention times your attention. That's what it is. What you're intending to see and what you actually are noticing. So if I'm not making that aware that they're going to feel this in certain parts of their body and they're going to feel it differently than they ever did, they're thinking about other things. Maybe how uncomfortable they feel. Do I look weird? Is this person I should look at like, should do it like they're doing? Do I have the right shoes on for this? You see what because their attention, I let it run free versus I guided their attention, okay? So what Matt did was planted seeds, and then we did that for the coach, and then the coach did it back for the front desk. So both people can be respected at the highest level and get the best chance to make this person to make a good decision. Fair? Okay. Now we've got a few good people who do this as well. I haven't seen her here yet. Is Emily Rothrock here, Ms. Rothrock? So Emily, I know that you've really just started doing this. Walk us through the process before, after, how it's working for you now.
It works.
So
I mean, well, I will say having a script works, and when we do it and we say our script, it works. And it still amazes me when someone's like, "Oh yeah, here's my credit card." Like, really?
So what was before and after? Like, what was that like, the process of taking a member through a workout and then getting them to that sales process versus now? What's been that like comparison?
We've always been, so I own a bar 3. We've always been a really friendly brand. We've always, gotten to know people, taught a great class. Like, none of that has ever been the issue, but it was the intentionality behind it. And just really making sure that we're hitting every single one of those points, that we're doing the intake, that we're asking questions. I think we were kind of like nervous to do it before, like, oh, I don't want this person to think I'm weird. I'm asking them all these questions about themselves. But we do it and we get to know them. And a big thing too, as you've said, is like referencing what their goals are during the workout, right? Making sure that we're making that connection. And then when they come out, we have a script and it works and we feel more confident. We sound more confident.
It's smoother, I think you told me last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Emily is awesome. Recently raised her pricing as well, which actually worked out really well. So now she's more profitable too. Round of applause for Emily Rothrock out of Bar 3. Another power couple here that does this really well is, now I want to see if they can do a better one than some of the ones I've heard already. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if you're here, say, hey! There we go. We'll take that. We'll take that.
like way in the corner, like hiding.
So they're actually going to be speaking, I think, tomorrow as well. These guys went from like 22K to 77K in the last, I don't know, year or whatever it is in monthly revenue. So I'm excited to see what they do. But guys, talk to us about the process, because I remember you have a really good intricate process too of the hand back as well, correct?
Yeah, so we, like you said earlier, we sell before they do their first workout, so we get to know them on a pretty granular level, do the prescriptive sell, and really dig into the real reason why they're there, for sure.
And what's that been like for you, like closing rate and the dollar per sale, all that?
Yeah, before the front end offer was more like, okay, here's a challenge, we'd close 50%, maybe on a good day. Prescriptive route, now it's closer to 85%.
Closing rate.
That's right. And then, the great part is now you've leveraged supplement sales, ancillary sales. You've got a lot more to work with on how you can help them. So in the past, average revenue per member was $150 a month at best, but that's if you're zeroing in on one sector of the business, like the group training. Really, if you average the entire membership base before we did this, it would be closer to 75 or 80. Now, in our best months, it's $420 per member.
$420 per member.
Yeah.
And that's with membership and ancillary?
Yes, sir.
Round of applause.
Oh.
People spend money. They want this. Remember, it's very important to them. Remember earlier we talked about it's very important. It's not something they like. It's very important. So when something's very important to you, you do what you got to do to get it. All right. So let's talk about area number 4, Matt, because this is your favorite.
This is.
You guys know what it is?
Referrals.
Yeah.
There we go. It kind of closes that loop for us. So I'm going to steal a little bit of what Emily said and what Billy said as well. Emily said it's smoother, and Billy said it affords you more opportunities for supplements and ancillary sales. Like Mike said, we're always selling, right? He's selling Marjan every day. Marjan's selling him every day. We're always selling. Every conversation is sales. Well, referrals is no different. This is part of our ancillary sales, if you will, right? And because our process has been so smooth, and because we've built the confidence, we hand off, hand back. This member feels good about things. They're excited. We've touched on not only their goals, but their emotional reason why. Now is the time for us to ask for these referrals, right? Now's the time for us to grab these warm leads, right? And now's the time that we can start our infinite return. Okay, everyone aware of the infinite return principle? If not, you're going to learn about it here a little bit later today. But this is the way that we really exponentially grow your member base. Anybody interested in exponentially growing member base? Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to talk through the infinite return principle a little bit later on. We are also able to, at this point, by the more referrals that we get, we are obviously increasing our lead count. Okay, we're selling more members. So what does that do to our customer acquisition cost? Lowers it. Anybody interested in paying less to acquire a new member? Yes, right, cool. Anybody interested in paying less for leads? Cool, well, we can do that too. This is referrals, guys. I promise it's so easy. Like Mike said, if we kind of paint this picture prior to, this member feels good, and then I ask them, they already have this picture painted. They're like, yes, I definitely will give you some referrals, okay? But it closes the loop for us. If we're not doing all the other steps in this one becomes a little bit more difficult, okay? Now, we talked about those bad months, down months, right? If we don't have that lead pipeline and we're not consistently building that, we fail, right? Bad month is a bad month. We don't want that. So what referrals do is, despite a slower lead month or despite a slower sales month, referrals are our internal stuff typically that will allow us to sustain business, to fight through down months, to fight through slower quarters, to fight through anything that the world decides to throw at us. Referrals fixes everything, I promise. I know you said sales fixes everything. Sales is a byproduct after I get the referrals.
Referrals is sales.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and this, at the end of the day, allows us to build this culture of referring, right? Because we've now made this member feel so comfortable. This member is now going to refer to me how many referrals at the point of sale? 5, yes. 6, somebody say 6? I like it.
There you go.
Overachiever.
Is that your average right now? Woo! Round of applause.
We're going to chat later on that one. I
You're
like that.
averaging 6 right now? Damn. What's your name? Andrew. Round of applause for Andrew real quick. Now you know who else to talk to.
Andrew, you're stealing my thunder over here, man. That's killer. Okay, so 5, right? 5 referrals. Now these people who come
6.
in on their referral. 6 if you're an overachiever, which I like, man. 7 would be impressive. I'm just saying. Danny, get him. Get him. No, really good. But these people have now come in as a member referral, right? Danny has said, Andrew, you got to check this place out, man. Soldier Fit is legit. You got to come on and check it out. I promise you're going to love the workout. It's going to kick your butt, but dude, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to look like this. Look at me, right? What happens now when Andrew's approached for referrals? We've created this culture of giving referrals, and he's like, I can definitely think of a couple people who are going to benefit from this. You know what? How many can I have? 6? Dude, I have 7. Is that okay? All right, it's okay. Okay, but it builds this culture, right? And this allows us to continually grow and sustain our business.
So referrals, there's actually a cool thing I want to do on this one. So Brooke from Hook, say, hey! All right, let's get her a mic. We have a second mic though, right? Lisa from Beach Fit, say, hey! So let's get Lisa from Beach Fit too. Okay, now this is really cool. So we have strategies that we teach. We taught you guys, the referrals. We have like 8 different strategies within the portal. And we were really showing a few of them. And Brooke and Nate, these guys crushed it. And Brooke did something. You got how many referrals in like 24 hours?
It was like 98.
98 referrals in 20.
In like 5 hours.
Oh, sorry. What a jerk. So you got you're wanting to outdo Andrew is what you're doing with the overachieving them. Okay, so you got 98 in 5 hours, and then Lisa heard about it, right, Lisa?
That's correct.
Now you're a studio manager over there. You're a studio manager at Beach Fit. You heard about it, and you and Brooke ended up deciding, okay, I'm going to connect, and we're going to do the same thing. And what did you get in 24 hours?
About 98 as well.
98 referrals in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Round of applause. So it works. Now, here's what I'll tell you. While you're here for the 2 days, feel free to connect with these guys. After that, just know that, number 1, there's a video on YouTube where I interviewed them both. Just email, write this down, lrvt@loudrumor.com. There's nothing you're going to ask them on a call that you're not going to get in that video because I asked them every question. Okay? So Nate or Tanner, whoever's there, will send you the link to that video so you have it. Also, just know that the step-by-step plays for pretty much everything, including that, are in your portal in the file vault. Video, scripts, templates, everything. Okay?